Picture this. You're watching live television when a congresswoman pulls out a folder and says, "This is Melania Trump security clearance adjustment request." The studio goes dead silent. The anchor's knuckles turn white, gripping the desk. And in that moment, you realize you're watching someone blow up the most powerful office in America with nothing but paperwork. What you're about to hear is the story of how Jasmine Crockett exposed a secret memo on live TV that didn't just embarrass the president. It revealed the First Lady's silent rebellion against corruption that no one saw coming. And by the time she was done talking, the whole country was listening. It starts 6 days before that explosive broadcast. Jasmine Crockett sits alone in a black sedan outside a small law office in Fredericksburg, Texas. No staff, no security, no cameras. Just her and nervous energy that hasn't let her sleep for 2 nights. The air is thick and dry. She glances at her phone. No texts, no missed calls yet. The door opens. A man in a wrinkled beige suit walks out. Mid-50s, heavy set, thinning hair. He doesn't wave, just motions once with his hand. Jasmine gets out and follows him inside without a word. The office smells like old files and microwave coffee. He locks the door behind her and draws the blinds halfway. "You sure you want to see this?" he asks. Once it's in your head, it stays there. Jasmine doesn't hesitate. "Show me." He slides a thick accordion folder across the desk. Her fingers pause at the edge. "Where did it come from?" "I don't know her name," he says. "Just that she worked on the logistics and foreign travel liaison. Part of the prep team for Jakarta. She said she couldn't stay quiet." Jasmine opens a folder slowly. First page, a memo addressed to the office of the First Lady. Bold, sharp language with multiple red lines, showing revisions. Someone was trying to clean up the narrative. Second page, an annotated flight schedule showing 2 aircraft. One labeled Eagle 3 Diplomatic, the other Charter Priority Hold. The second one had a strange stop. Geneva, Switzerland. "Who's on the second plane?" she asks. "I don't have passenger names, but that plane took off 6 hours after the official party left. Unofficial manifest. No press, no explanation." She flips through more pages until she finds a handwritten note. The paper is creased like it's been carried in a pocket too long. The handwriting is neat and narrow. It reads, "I won't take part in that trip. I've already told him. I won't be used for the optics." Jasmine's breath catches. This is Melania's. The man doesn't answer. He doesn't need to. She reads the note again. It doesn't accuse, doesn't name names, but it says enough. Enough to show she wasn't just skipping the trip out of inconvenience. She was distancing herself from something she didn't want to touch. "I need to verify all of this," Jasmine says. "You got 6 days. Then it'll be too late." Words already moving through the building. They're looking for who copied these files. You wait too long and either someone else runs it first, or it all disappears. But here's where it gets crazy. Jasmine isn't just holding papers. She's holding proof that the First Lady of the United States tried to blow the whistle on her own husband's administration. Fast forward to that live TV moment. The studio lights are bright, the anchor's smile is fake, but Jasmine Crockett's expression doesn't move. She's not there to play politics. She's there to burn a hole through the silence. "Congresswoman Crockett, what are you saying exactly?" the host asks, pretending to be caught off guard. Jasmine doesn't blink. "I'm saying the First Lady refused to attend the Jakarta summit, not because of scheduling, but because she refused to be part of something she believed was fabricated." The studio goes still. A half second of silence that's barely noticeable. Then chaos starts to bubble. She opens a folder. Real papers, stamped, signed. Not a leak, not a rumor, proof. She flips to the first document and holds it up. This is Melania Trump security clearance adjustment request from 2 months ago. On this form, she requests withdrawal from the Indonesia leg of the trip. She states in writing that she believes the purpose of the visit has shifted to, quote, non-governmental priorities. The anchor tries to interject, but Jasmine stays calm. The flight logs show 2 planes, one carrying official delegates, one for personal use. That second flight made stops in Switzerland for banking meetings not on any official schedule. Can you believe this? While she's calmly reading government documents on live television, viewers everywhere are leaning in. Phones light up with screen recordings. Hashtags start creeping through timelines before the interview has even ended. And in a private dining room just off the West Wing, Trump is watching it all alone, holding the TV remote so tight his knuckles go pale. "Turn that off." He barks to no one. He presses mute instead. But Jasmine keeps talking, laying out each document with names, dates, routing codes. All traceable, all verifiable. Twitter explodes. Cable news starts picking up the clip even before the broadcast ends. But wait until you hear what she says next. "I'm not implying anything," Jasmine continues. "I'm reading documents from a congressional oversight request. Melania Trump withdrew from that trip because she didn't want her name used to justify backdoor transactions." She holds up one last document, an internal memo from the First Lady's Chief of Staff. The signature is barely visible, but the words are clear. "We do not advise the First Lady's participation in the Jakarta trip under the current terms. She has expressed disapproval of the unofficial additions to the itinerary, and we share a concern regarding use of agency resources." That memo hadn't been leaked before. It hadn't even been hinted at until now. And just like that, the segment ends. By the time the network cuts to commercial, the internet has already exploded. But here's what nobody expected. 3 days later, Jasmine gets a phone call that changes everything. An unknown number, country code Slovenia. She answers but doesn't speak first. A woman's voice fills the silence. Low, clear, slightly accented. "You don't know me, but I used to be very close to her." "To who?" Jasmine asks. "To the First Lady. We grew up in the same town. I helped her when she first moved here. She cut off most ties years ago, but I kept some memories." The woman continues. "She told me about a conversation they had before the trip. He was angry she refused to go, told her to put on the dress and play the part. She refused. She left the room crying. Then comes a bombshell. I recorded our last conversation. She didn't know I still had it. You'll hear her say everything herself. She wanted it out there. She just never thought anyone would believe it unless it came from a man." The audio file arrives moments later. The quality is rough, wind, cars in the background, but the voice is unmistakably Melania's. "No, I won't go. Not for photo ops. Not for cover. He thinks I'll smile next to bankers while they hide money in places I don't even understand. I'm not doing it." A pause. Then another sentence that sends chills down Jasmine's spine. "If I disappear after this, you'll know why." Little did anyone know, this recording will become the smoking gun that changes everything. When Jasmine plays it during congressional hearing, the room goes completely silent. Even her biggest critics have no comeback. The tape doesn't just prove corruption. It shows a woman trapped in a system trying to do the right thing the only way she knows how. The aftermath is swift and brutal. President Trump addresses the nation, jaw tight with anger. These attacks are politically motivated and deeply disrespectful. We will not be intimidated by false narratives and weak-minded people pretending to be heroes. But it's too late. The damage is done. Not because of political spin or partisan attacks, but because people heard the truth in Melania's own voice. Across the country, from Des Moines to Phoenix, regular Americans are saying the same thing. I don't care what party she's in. That Crockett woman told the truth, and that matters more than loyalty. The most powerful part of this story isn't the corruption or the cover-up. It's watching one person refuse to back down when everyone else is playing it safe. Jasmine Crockett didn't have a massive team or unlimited resources. She had documents, determination, and the courage to speak truth to power when it mattered most. As she tells her mother later, truth doesn't shout. It doesn't bully. It waits. It sits quietly in folders on voicemail tapes, inside conversations. And when someone has the courage to bring it forward, it doesn't need spin. It speaks for itself. This story reminds us that accountability doesn't come from institutions or systems. It comes from individuals willing to risk everything for what's right. Whether you're a Republican, Democrat, or something else entirely, we should all want leaders who value truth over loyalty and justice over convenience. The next Jasmine Crockett might already be in your neighborhood, waiting for her moment to speak up. The question is, when that moment comes, will we be listening?